Duce, growing up in a Florida State household, just how long have you dreamed of playing in this game?
Yeah, my whole life. I mean, obviously my pops went to Florida State, my mom went to Florida, and so this game was always the biggest game of the year in my household. And me and all my brothers were Florida State fans, and so it was a 4v1. My mom definitely had to fight some tough battles in there, especially in the days when Florida State would whoop up on Florida. But no, I truly can't wait to be able to play in an environment like the Swamp. You know, I've heard nothing but incredible reviews from someone who went to that school, from the people who surrounded me. Like, I've heard that it's an incredible environment. I respect the School of Florida a lot, and so I truly can't wait to play.
All right.
I know the team results are what you were most looking for, but this season, how rewarding is it to kind of bet on yourself? You know, I don't know if you would have gotten quite the same opportunities at prior school, and just to know that you think you could be a 1,000-yard receiver, and then to see it kind of come to fruition this year.
Yeah, you know, I think it all started with the belief in myself that I could do it. That drove me to search for new opportunities, and then the belief from Coach Norvell, from Coach Malzahn, from Coach Harris that ultimately brought me here. And you know, when I came here, they told me what they believed I could be, and they've done nothing but reinforce that since I've been here. They've pushed me, they've challenged me, even on days when I probably didn't want to be challenged. They made sure that I was doing everything I could to live up to what I hoped to be, and the expectation that they had for me. And so, you know, it was extremely rewarding, and I'm so beyond blessed and grateful that I ended up at Florida State because, you know, I've made memories here. I've built relationships that I'll hold with me for the entirety of my life.
Brennan?
I don't know how much the actual like hitting 1,000 yards matters to you, like numbers wise, but historically, I think you're top 10 now in receiving yards in the season in Florida State history. Be a part of that group of individuals. What does that mean to you?
I grew up Florida State receivers. I grew up dreaming about being a Florida State receiver. Like when I envisioned myself playing college football, I envisioned myself playing in the Garden and Gold and playing in Doak Campbell Stadium, and you know, being able to have, you know, the Seminole head on my jersey, right? And I grew up dreaming about being like the guys on that list, you know, and so now the fact that my name's on that list right beside some of the greatest receivers to have ever played at Florida State and to have ever played college football, like, it's truly, it's incredible. And like if I would have told my 5-year-old self that I would be on that list, I would have looked at myself stunned probably. So it's extremely cool.
Corey?
Are you going to be back here next year?
I think there's a time and a place for that conversation.
I had to ask. I just threw it out there.
Yes, sir. Right now, all my focus is on Florida, and doing my best to make sure I prepared well, and trying to make a bowl game.
Two-parter then, Stephen. Your dad. It is cool. I know after the fact. This seat feels great. Your dad's biggest moments probably at Florida State came in that game at the Swamp. He had the 4th and 14 catch that led to a touchdown, and also had a touchdown in that game. Have you talked about that? Have you seen those highlights growing up, what your dad did in the Swamp?
Yeah. It's funny. I've actually probably seen him more here than I have anywhere growing up. He'll always try to downplay it, and you know, whenever you think about your dad, you're always growing up thinking, oh, he's just an old man, balding, and he can't keep up with me. But then you get to the place where he played, and people still know his name, and people are still talking about the plays he made, and so it's really, really cool, and it's been really cool for me here to see like how much the town of Tallahassee embraces Duce Robinson, and as a result, how much they've embraced me, and so I'm really, really excited to play in a game where he made some of his biggest plays, and you know, hopefully I can make some plays of my own this game.
Chris?
Your parents were really good athletes and obviously instilled that in you, both the way to get there and just being a good athlete. What has it been like for you to do that for your younger brothers?
It's crazy because a lot of times I don't even like realize that they're watching me. But then, you know, they'll tell me or my parents will tell me, or I'll just see their movement patterns sometimes, and it'll be like, dang, that looks kind of familiar, and it'll just catch me off guard because I'm like, they're watching everything I'm doing, both on and off the field, and so, you know, I think that's part of the reason I try to carry myself the way I carry myself is because I just want to be a good role model for them. I want them to grow up seeing that you can be both a good person and a good athlete, and hopefully, you know, hopefully I've done a good job, done a good enough job, and hopefully I can continue doing a good job for them, and anyone else who may be watching me.
Liam?
You talked about relationships earlier, and one that we've heard a lot about from you and from Tommy is that connection that you guys have. This might be the last game, not asking about yours, but just with Tommy's eligibility that you two get to play together. What has that relationship been like both on and off the field for you?
Yeah, I mean, Tommy's a big reason why I even came here in the first place. Like that connection. When I came on my visit, he was here the entire time. He made sure he was here. He drove down from Georgia to make sure that he was on the visit with me, and we didn't spend a second apart the whole time I was in Tallahassee, and that was huge for me to be able to have that relationship with the quarterback. We live across the hall from each other, and we're constantly spending time with each other off the field, which I think has helped to develop our connection on the field, because, you know, Tommy's a great dude, great person, and I've really learned a lot from him, and I'm really like truly thankful for him because like I said, he's a big factor in why I even ended up here in the first place, and so words can't describe how grateful I am for him.
All right.
Following up on Corey's first question before, it's not like the old days when guys had to decide, are you gonna stay in college or are you gonna go try to make money? Like now that there are options, you know, guys can stay in college and there are opportunities at different schools with revenue sharing. Is that why you can't even really think about any of that? Because you don't even know what options are gonna be available until that point? I mean, that's gotta be part of it as well.
Honestly, I can't think about it because all my focus is on trying to win the next football game. After the season, you know, I'll be able to tell you guys more. But right now, you know, I'm just trying to take it day by day, trying to continuously improve, and doing my best to make sure that we get that bowl game.
Anything else? All right.
Just one more. You mentioned your dad being a former football player and your mom was a great swimmer, but not just their athletic ability, but in their interest in sports, but he's also a performance coach. And just, you know, how difficult or challenging was it coming up or did you naturally have that work ethic and that desire that they wanted you to have?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of instilled in me early. Just seeing both my parents work out every day. They're constantly like doing stuff or doing active stuff, and so that's always just what I thought was natural. Like growing up, I would just go to the gym with my pops or work out with my mom, and so I never looked at it like I have to go work out. I just looked at it as like when are we going to work out? And so like just growing up that way, it just makes sense to me that I would want to work extra because I just truly love it. I love doing it, and it's fun to me. It's fun to me, both in the process and then seeing the results of it. And so, you know, I think it all just stems from both of my parents, just doing it every day. So I've been extremely lucky, extremely blessed to grow up in the household I did, have the parents I have, because without them, I don't think I am who I am today.
We'll do Aslan for the last one.
3 for 1. Do you know the down and distance that your dad made that catch?
4th and 14.
Okay. Like, do you remember, did you show your friends on your phone, like, hey, this was my dad, he did this? Like, do you plan on, like, I don't know, like walking on that piece of grass around the area where he made the catch?
Did I show my friends the catch on my phone? No. But you know, I think it would be pretty cool to walk along, maybe, you know, run that dig you ran, like just map it out on that field. However long you did it, 20 years ago.
22.
Like 22 years ago. I think that would be pretty cool. So we'll see how it ends up working out. But yeah, I'm really excited to experience the Swamp.
Awesome, thanks, Duce.